When I switched to pro mileage, in my case, I got 46, 47% of savings for that time.
Pro mileage was the only one that gave me 5,000 extra value to cover, yet still cheaper, a lot less. A lot less.
No one really is like, yeah, whatever. Sounds good. Well, actually, maybe we'll dust that off and do it. It sounds good.
I mean, that's like the rantings of somebody completely crazy that they found to put on here. And it's just, yeah, like, this is something we've never heard of before. It's something that sounds ridiculous. It's something that sounds... 16 Rand report, which was sponsored by the State Department, talking about going to war with China and trying to isolate most of the casualties over in this region. I mean...
You literally have the General Milley calling his Chinese...
That every time it you know, the coat hanger comes and then they forgive them and try to forget it. But the coat hanger is always going to come out because that's what the U.S. is. It's abusive, it's invasive, and just think about it. It's on the other side of the ocean doing this.
You know, I think that in mind. I think a lot of people who may be able to empathize with that point. There are some people who will empathize with that point, but they don't take it one step further and don't realize that Australia is actually no different as well. You know, as soon as Australia outlives its usefulness for the U.S.,
So we came to this place called Pak Kopitiam. Very nice. Operated by a young lady with her uncle at Jenjarom here. Next stop, someplace in Morib. What a Monday, right? What a Monday. Cars here fast. Not too far away. 34 minutes. Alright? Cheers.
Mao Zedong in this restaurant or something like that. And it's like, you know, before the handover, there was a picture of the Queen on every government building. It's like when you walk into government buildings in Hong Kong, there was the portrait of the Queen.
In the world. I was taken aback. I'm like, was my information all wrong? I had to go like fact check myself. I'm like, I'm pretty sure U.S. Navy is the largest Navy in the world. And yes, U.S. has a far larger both personnel and physical assets. So I don't know what he's talking about.
I think there were some reports that were trying to twist it in a different way by tonnage or something like that. There were some reports that were saying that now the Chinese Navy is bigger, but they had to change the metrics in order to accomplish that. I don't know, Brian, if you know more about that.
Yeah, they might have like a slightly larger number of ships, but overall tonnage is still way in favor of the U.S. And then there's this other aspect. So they're always talking about how China is this huge threat. They're expansionists. They're imperialists. If you look at the Chinese Navy, for example, technically it's a blue water fleet, which means they can operate all around the world. But they do not have the infrastructure in place to support major operations all around the globe. And according to it depends on who you talk to, some will say that this is still kind of like, they would call it a green water fleet, where it's kind of confined to its peripheries, which you can see read that RAND document, they talk about how China's forces are all concentrated in China, and how any conflict would be near China because that's where all their forces are. That's where all the flashpoints the U.S. is trying to leverage to trigger a conflict. And then there's airlift. This is something else people don't think about, but you could have 1 million people in your army, but how are you going to get them to say from China to another country they want to invade or expand into? You need sea lift and airlift, and they simply don't have it. They have like 20 airlift jets that could be comparable to a C-17. The US has something like 200, over 200, just to give you an idea of how far behind China's capabilities are. They're not developing those capabilities because they don't have these ambitions. Their army and their navy and their air force is defensive. It's to defend China. It's not to project power all around the globe. It will take years to develop that capability, and everyone will see them doing it out in the open. So another thing they'll never tell you about.
I'm pulling up infographics from Jane's defense here. The U.S. have 68 nuclear power submarines. China had 15. The U.S. have 11 aircraft carriers. China has 2. So I mean, in terms of cruisers, destroyers, U.S. all have the larger number. The only thing that China has more is smaller ships like the frigates and corvettes. Because as you say, China's is still organized around defending the Chinese territorial waters, and even looking at the personnels, right? U.S. still has far larger Navy personnel than U.S. When they talk about having greater tonnage, what does that mean? U.S. still has by far, more manpower. So this is, I mean, what they said about people, PLA.
It also is very telling.
It's the foundation of Western war propaganda that, and this is, when we were talking about Winston Sterzel and the racism, this is part of dehumanizing the enemy. You cannot convince an entire population to go to war with someone they see as human, as equal. So this is part of the dehumanization that they need to do. They did it. I mean, I remember when I was a kid and trading those cards, the Desert Storm cards, how everyone was dehumanizing the Iraqis and making Saddam into this cartoon villain, and they're doing the exact same thing to the Chinese president, the Chinese people, Chinese military. And did you hear him say, oh, they could hit carriers as far out as Guam, one of these islands the U.S. took over, took from the Spanish who had no right to be there. So this is them again projecting constantly. China, the expansionist, they might threaten our ships near these islands that we seized by force. It's crazy.
No, it is, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a double standard there, but I think it's really telling. Let's continue on. I think there's some more really revealing parts coming up. So 2312, we'll continue from there. So
off the coast, in disputed territory, China has built artificial islands loaded with defensive hardware.
I gotta quickly add something here at the 2352.
And I'm here! Oh my god, the sea levels are so high. Let's go have a look. Nice.
Head while he was saying that, he was like, yeah, whatever, yeah. I mean, you got a point, but whatever. Can we move on to fear mongering again? I mean, that's the impression I got. But we will continue here from the 2440.
And
Avengers Endgame when Thor changed to an axe instead of a hammer. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm glad he at least admitted that as much as I'm theorizing that China is the angry guy with the axe, actually we're the even angrier guy with the axe. So I'm glad that he put that on the table. I'm glad he said it in black and white that he hopes that the people of China continually live in fear that there could be a nuclear bomb over their head. Because of course America is the only country that has ever dropped a nuclear bomb on civilian populations, and he wants the people of
Japan was defeated. They had no air force. They had no fleet. It's an island nation. They were not going to swim out and get America. They dropped those 2 nuclear bombs on Japan to make a statement. It was a political move. People say, well, we would have had to have invaded Japan. They were already trying to surrender. They just didn't like the conditions, and they saw an opportunity to demonstrate this.
This little town is so well maintained. It's like people here, you can see them putting effort in keeping their town clean and organized, painted, you know? So good. Such a small town. I've never been here, but it's so nice. See, it's so tidy. It's so tidy. It's like people really, really take care of their place. I'm happy to see this. Guys, I just parked my car at the edge. Look at that.
Sociological consequences have not been factored in. With people of ethnic Chinese descent, or people who look like people of ethnic Chinese descent, being abused in the streets, calls from the extreme right and the fringes for them to be placed in internment camps.
Do you fear, all of you, that Chinese Australians will be seen as the enemy within?
Absolutely. I mean, the Australian Chinese community and everybody who look vaguely sort of Chinese, in the event that, you know, there is a war with China, what Clinton said, this notion of internment camps, you know, is a very real prospect. You know, John, I'll see you there.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Like, you know,
The government told us. He just basically made up a lie right there, hoping you will never fact check. It's like, where did where did Xi Jinping say he will go next after he takes over Taiwan? Please, somebody tell me.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're at 4103, almost done, a few seconds left.
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week.
Read that. All of this will make sense because they lay it out very explicitly how the war will be limited. They know they have more nuclear weapons than China. China would not want to escalate if they attacked the homeland. That would just stir up a hornet's nest. They would keep it conventional. They would keep it limited. They would keep it to military targets and shipping lanes. They're going to try to cripple China's economy and set it back. We have to remember where we are in history. We are at a point where a non-white, non-Western nation is about to irreversibly surpass the West, economically, militarily, politically, with a completely different system, a completely different way of interacting with the world.
Okay, now I'm driving into this place with a sign of a gun and drive at your own risk. And we run out of roads. There are no tarmac here. These are gravels. And I'm gonna raise my suspension. I'm gonna raise it. And hope for the best. So at first we thought of, let's detour. Because I'm on 21-inch Pirellis, you know, ultra low profile tires. But we're trying to go through these type of roads to KLIA. But yes, there's the potential of damaging my car, but like I said, any experience in life, as long as you are pretty sure that you won't die, there is something to gain at the end of the day. Right? So I'm pretty sure I won't die by going, you know, like 10 kilometers per hour on these type of roads. Probably I get steamrolled by a lorry, but I think the road is wide enough for the lorry to humiliate me. And that's a bus stop, a very curious looking bus stop. in the middle of nowhere, and I have my friend in front with a CX-5 watching out for me. You know, that's a big swerving movement for holes that aren't too big. I mean, this is pretty alright. It's just that the truck behind is catching up. It's catching up. Oh, there's a bridge with some nails, metal pieces. Alright. So I would have never ever go through these plantation roads if it weren't for today to KLIA. And it's a Monday afternoon. I'm supposed to be working, but I'm not working. But what can go wrong? Let's do it! Never been here, never would come. Never will come here ever again. And this is why I dream of Bahaing some of my cars. Imagine I still have my S4 and I raised the suspension and I put in some, you know, some proper BF Goodrich off-road tires and just rummage across this. Or maybe I get myself an FJ Cruiser or a Ranger Raptor. That would be nice. Alright, so ooh, what is that? There's a piece of metal out of the ground. Wow. Yes, it's not a place to bring an RS6 here. Not RS6 friendly here. Yeah. Nope, not the Audi Rally Heritage here. The tires are just too thin and the rocks may be too sharp for yeah, some fast driving over here. And I don't think my tires are gonna get out of these in a healthy manner. Alright, I'm gonna go into my... Oh shit, there's an Avanza behind me. Alright. Okay, I'm holding up traffic. Display my pressure. Okay, I can't go fast. I'm sorry. Damn, people really do go through roads like these, huh? Do they want to overtake me? I wish they overtake me. How long do we have? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh shit, what is that? Alright, I'll continue when I make it out alive, but these are palm oil, alright? Palm oil fields where, you know, the Western country says that because Malaysia has palm oil plantation, a lot of animals lost their homes. As if animals wouldn't lose their homes when the Westerners plant their vineyards, their cornfields, you know? What's that sound? That is scary. Oh, that is a scary sound. What happened to my car? Oh well. I'll continue the video when I make it out alive. I made it out alive! Sorry, I was too excited just now when I made it out alive. That's a beautiful lake. I never realized there's a beautiful lake over here. And that's Malaysia Airlines. I don't know, is that their hangar for servicing place? Oh, those are the 3 abandoned 747s. Unidentified abandoned 747s in Malaysia. Oh, this road is nice. I'm gonna do a drag race here. This road is nice. No bumps, nothing. There's a stage. Hey, what is that stage for? Why are there barbed wires around the stage? This stage is nice for a drag race. Very nice. Very, very nice. Malaysia is beautiful. Okay guys, we're approaching the place where, can you see the map? Yes, this is where planes begin landing. Alright, these are the guiding lights for the planes, and they're gonna fly in here, but because it's COVID season, I don't think we are lucky enough to even be able to witness planes landing today. But hey, who knows? Who knows, right? Oh, this is how they look like. Sepang Aircraft Engineering. Interesting. There's some really old planes over there. There's a rock behind me. I see a rock. Okay. Let's go down and have a look. Yo, we made it!
How was the adventure? Your car made it okay, huh?
So far, I on the tire pressure monitoring. Keep looking at it. I'm like, oh.
Okay. All-wheel drive for rally.
I was like, there's an Avanza behind me that got stuck by me. I was like, sorry Avanza, I'm not rally king, quattro shit. Oh, so these are the lights that guide, right? Hey, why are the lights on? Got planes coming Oh yeah. There's a scoot. I don't know. So this is where. Actually, if we have the flight monitor thing, we can know if there are planes landing or not.
Actually, if you stand here,
Yeah.
you can see the flight approaching one.
Oh.
One by one, 排队 one.
Oh, you've been here lah.
I've been here.
Oh, nice.
Actually, during last year MCO, I was here also. The planes landing,
Ah.
cargo planes.
Actually, if we walk towards the end, we can climb over the fence. Arrested. Trespassing.
I thought you're on EL.
Okay. So yeah, waited a while, but doesn't seem any flights coming in soon. And that looks like a shootout between a CX-5 and an XC90. Yeah, looks like a shootout, huh? Yeah, and then the CX-5 moves up first. Alright, let's go. Now we're heading... Oh! Okay. Heading to KLIA 2. Let's go. Oh yes. And those are the abandoned 747s. Yeah. Nice. Oh, this truck wanted to do a U-turn. Interesting. So I hope the GPS don't bring us through the gravel roads again. Whoever built the roads around KLIA 2, right? Please go fuck yourself, right? Especially those that are coming out and now we're U-turn going back. I tell you, the roads around KLIA 2, right, is obviously built by a pirate or something, you know. There's no concept of straight lines, there are no concepts of basic road manners when it comes to building roads, right? It's a road built, I don't know how to mention that. Not these are alright, you know. It's a road heading out. When you're coming out of KLIA 2 heading back to KL, I tell you, that contractor and whoever approves his work, oh, I'm gonna shove that thing up his ass. Shove it up his ass. Yeah, man. Hooray! Arrival hall! Yeah. That's KLIA 2 arrival hall. Can you imagine that? So happening. So exciting. Oh dear. Oh, there's a 7-Eleven here. Let's go grab something. Yes, sir! Racing! Racing! I've been looking for you the whole morning in Bangi, in Samanya, in Tanjung Sepat, in Sepang. I got my racing, V-Power Racing, da 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 da。
这样子且走且战。大陆当然是经营这种全球性的关系了。那欧洲像德国是一个重镇，那可能德国是整个欧洲里面跟中国大陆是最大的一个贸易伙伴。虽然欧盟整个算起来是，那以德国单独来算的话，一定是中国大陆最大的贸易伙伴。那过去不是说10年，过去30年，这个大陆跟德国之间的关系是非常密切的。那德国在过去曾经有一段时间，它的那个 GDP 成长率是到6到7啊，每年的经济成长率，以这样一个成熟的以这样子一个成熟的经济体能够到这么高的一个经济成长率啊，那基本上都是拜中国大陆的市场之赐。所以德国对中国大陆态度一直很务实的原因，也就是这里。对，而且从这个战略的观点的话，欧洲跟中国之间是没有什么战略上的冲突的，距离非常远嘛。而且欧洲讲的一定都是讲地缘政治，欧洲人一讲政治就地缘政治，所以周边的事情是他最关切的。那你比较远的话，是没有什么冲突，也没有领土冲突，也没有什么冲突，都很少。对。所以我觉得就是经过这个 Oxford 这一次的这个冲击啊，我觉得它将来的发酵它跟美国跟这个欧洲关系的整体关系它一定会发酵，而且这个发酵是一个长时间的发酵，因为美国这次做的是怎么讲呢？太过分了。就任何一个观点来看欧洲人的话都无法接受，根本下不了台。那你表面看好像大家就是说吵一吵，好像看起来不再斗嘴其实我觉得在台面下的这个整个的这个一潭很深的水在那个地方还是深不可测的。是。那可是这个一定会发酵。像德国人比较做深入的思考、深入的反省的，德国人讲的很多话是比较务实、讲的深刻的反省的话。那这个部分就会显现在哪里呢？我觉得会显现在欧盟所谓的战略自主它会更清晰。是。另外一个就是欧洲军队的这个建构它的速率会加快。另外在一些重要的区域跟这个双边关系跟区域关系上，你会看到欧洲跟美国的立场会越来越漂移走。它会是一个慢慢的一个在改变的方向，它不会立刻的就两边就好像剑拔弩张。可是呢，这个比如
说OK。对
中大陆的东西，你都会看到慢慢美国跟欧洲会慢慢会脱离。
I've never been here before. Cyberjaya, smart city. So they designed this to look like an IC chipboard. The roundabout looks like an IC chipboard as well. Who came up with this design? How much money you claim? Anyway, here's a lake and there are cars parking around the edges of the greens. And what a weird road. Everybody's doing weird U-turns and U-turns to to go to places. What a weird road. Weird. Anyway.
That they were doing this along, again, in the 1960s. Japan and South Korea, India, Pakistan, and Southeast Asia. So this is Kamala Harris in the year 2021, continuing this, some might start saying fruitless, futile campaign of encircling and containing China. So this is from the Global Times. This is Chinese state media, and the headline is, Singapore draws line between being useful and being made use of, and they're talking.
That's the end of my one-day trip. It's amazing because it's only 2:43 p.m. now, but in my mind, it is as though I have traveled around for 2 or 3 days. That's the amazing part. The more things you do, the more things you squeeze in a day, the more memories you collected, and it is as though you lived longer. Right? I guess that's why Bruce McLaren said, life can never be measured with time alone. And then Soichiro Honda said, life can only be measured by how many times your soul has been deeply stirred. I totally agree with that. And today, the stuffs I've seen, the places I've went, which I've never been to, stirred my soul a little bit. Makes living a little bit more worthwhile. And of course, with my friend, CX5. Yep. Cheers.
Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house.